The air of uncertainty that has clouded long-term retirement planning has finally begun to clear. The most contentious elements of the original bill were a tax on unrealized gains and an unindexed $3 million threshold that would have ensnared more and more Australians over time have been scrapped. In their place is a more pragmatic, tiered system that, while still a tax increase, provides a much clearer and more stable framework for the future. This isn't just a minor tweak, it's a fundamental reset. Let's break down what has changed and, most importantly, what it means for you. The initial plan, introduced back in November 2023, was met with widespread criticism, and for good reason. It proposed a new 15% tax on earnings for super balances over $3 million, bringing the total tax rate to 30%. The two biggest problems were taxing unrealized gains. It treated increases in the value of your assets as taxable income, even if you hadn't sold them. This would have created a significant cash flow problem, especially for those with illiquid assets, such as property held in a self-managed super fund. The second problem was a fixed threshold. The $3 million cap was not indexed to inflation. As asset values and contributions grew, this tax would have affected hundreds of thousands of Australians. The backlash was significant, coming from industry bodies, the opposition, and even reportedly from within the Labor Party itself. The government has clearly listened. The revised policy, set to take effect from July 1, 2026, is a different beast entirely. The removal of the tax on unrealized gains is the headline win here. It aligns the superannuation system with the broader tax system, where you are taxed on profits you have actually received. The introduction of indexation is equally crucial. It ensures that the thresholds will rise with inflation, preventing the bracket creep that was a major flaw in the original design. Under the new rules, the tax concessions on superannuation are tapered aggressively for those with the largest balances. The government estimates that, in the 2026 to 2027 year, the new tax will affect less than 0.5% of Australians, around 9,000 people with balances over $3 million, and around 8,000 people with balances over $10 million. The tax is not applied to your entire balance. Instead, it applies only to the proportional earnings on the portion of your balance that exceeds the thresholds. If you have $4 million, the 30% tax rate applies only to the earnings attributed to the $1 million above the threshold, not the earnings on the first $3 million. The government has also coupled this change with a boost to the low-income superannuation tax offset, which will rise from $500 to $810. Its eligibility income threshold was lifted from $37,000 to $45,000 as of July 1, 2027. This is a political signal, framing the changes as a rebalancing of the system's fairness. For most Australians, nothing changes. Superannuation remains, by a significant margin, the most tax-effective environment for growing your retirement wealth. For those with balances close to or over the $3 million, the changes provide clarity and remove the immediate threat of a liquidity crisis due to tax on unrealized gains. The one-year delay to July 1, 2026 gives us ample time to plan and adjust strategies without rushing. The conversation around strategies to manage large super balances will now mature. While the pressure has eased, a 30% and 40% tax rate on earnings means that for high-net-worth individuals, holding all of their wealth in super may no longer be effective. We will likely see continued interest in alternative structures, such as investment bonds, as these can be attractive as they are taxed at a maximum of 30% internally, and withdrawals are tax-free after 10 years. Family trusts, as these offer flexibility in distributing income and managing intergenerational wealth transfer. Spousal contributions and splitting, thereby ensuring both partners in a couple maximize their superannuation capacity below the thresholds. However, these complex areas require tailored advice. The right strategy for you will depend entirely on your personal circumstances, age, risk tolerance, and family situation. For many, the best path may be to keep more than $3 million in Super and pay the tax. Financial modeling often shows Super's tax environment still wins. The main point is this: restructuring is not tax avoidance. It is a strategic realignment of your assets for growth, tax effectiveness, and liquidity. Division 296 changes everything for high net worth retirement planning. The old set-and-forget superannuation approach is now obsolete. A proactive strategy is now required. This means analyzing withdrawals, super splitting, trusts, and precise asset location. The right answer is unique. For families in Australia, this is not a crisis. It is a prompt to engineer a more sophisticated and resilient wealth structure for the coming decades. You have a window before July 1st, 2026. The time to model your financial outcomes and consult with a specialist advisor to restructure your plan is now. We recommend that you consult a licensed financial advisor, and approved financial planners can assist you with this matter.